If you want to know why so many companies and brands and just really individuals, I guess individuals that have created brands from of themselves, right? These streamers and all that, they've done the same thing. Well, they operate under it's not even a guise. It's more of social justice is the way. And the ones that are politically or public with their politics, for the most part, they are authoritarian leftists. That's just what it is. It is not, or they feel that it's not socially convenient for them to take a position to the contrary of the social justice left. So what you do is you get statements like this, and I want to address it because there's some layers to it. Particularly, this is a retarded thread from a person that probably has mental deficiencies. But typical stuff, BLM in the profile picture, in the description, rainbow flag, same shit, man. I mean, it's your usual folks. PSA, having no politics as a rule in your stream is a huge red flag for a lot of us marginalized folks. All right, so she has conflated being marginalized with politics, okay? She says that. But think about that idea, right? Just right at the gate. She explains herself a little more, and we'll get into that in a bit. But think about that. If you are a streamer and you have rules, which many do, like stay away from the politics, right? A lot of them do. Again, the ones that don't are leftists. So, the ones that generally have, this is what my guess is. The ones that have those types of rules, I'm not going to say that they're not leftist. I'm going to say that they more than likely have some sympathies and they to other sides, and they don't want to get involved in that shit. And that's why politics, look, everything is not about politics. Some people just want to play some fucking video games, man. They don't want to be getting into all of that and having a conversation about the political element. But let's listen to this Twitter person and what it is they said. This has almost 1,500 likes, so apparently some people agree with it. For me personally, it tells me the space isn't safe. So it's not a safe space for me, and that a stance wouldn't be taken to support me and other marginalized folks when the topic is brought up. And just in general, I refuse to reduce a tag for engagement with zero action behind it. Okay, so she is saying that it's about me. And look, I've told you guys about the advocates of social justice. We did a segment the other day where I talked about how they're the worst type of people to appeal to as customers. They're flaky, they're unreliable, and they are more interested in how can you advance my cause as opposed to actually selling a product or buying your product for that matter. They don't really care about any of that. They more want to be able to use your brand or think that your brand should be used to advance their individual causes. And that's what this person is saying. It's not a space for them when you can't talk politics. And as said, it's like, well, okay, so there's not going to be a stance that supports me. It's like, dude, it ain't your stream. The fuck? We don't get to turn off our existence. Saying you have no politics rule to give people a space to not be burdened by it is to not understand that those political topics have our very lives on the line. Jesus Christ. It's not an effort to keep streams cozy. It's harmful. You can implement boundaries. You can do things like set up safe words in your stream. What the fuck, man? Like, who the fuck are you, man? In your stream for when certain subjects get too heavy for the community, or you as a streamer without having a no politics rule that shuts down any and all conversations deemed to fall under that category. But when you start using language like I just want to not have to deal with it, or they can talk about it elsewhere, which they could, you are making it clear that one, you have the privilege to be disconnected, must be nice, and two, what the fuck, the privilege to disconnect, and number two, your support is shallow at best. This is fucking retarded, man. Like, so this person is all they're saying is that you you're not allowing us to be able to talk about these subjects and use your platform, be it your chat or whatever the space it is that you're your stream, to be able to talk about topics that they think, I guess, impacts their everyday life. See, this is the thing about social justice weirdos, is that they think the world runs around fucking them, right? So this person's like, well, we live this everyday lives. We don't have the luxury of turning. Shut the fuck. Quit dramatizing shit, man. You mean to tell me now that well, then again, you take a step back. They don't have to be that way. They choose to be that way. They choose to be that way. That's who they are. They are consumed by their causes. Okay? And often it's in the line of social justice. When you're consumed by that, you think everybody else is too. But that's not how the world operates. There are many of us. Hell, I've done Twitch streams where it's like, we're not really engaging in that today. And I talk fucking politics every day. It's like my job. You know what I'm saying? But not everybody wants help. That's hell. I mean, I'd argue that's what libertarianism is. It's, the goal is to remove politics by literal textbook definition. So if we lived in a more free or more prosperous world, there'll be less talk, not more of it. But this taps you into the mindset and the mind state of these types of people. The folks that all of you weird companies attempt to please and appease. You can't. But also, it shows you and taps you into the psyche of these guys, but shows those that are so confused as to why companies do that. Why do companies cater to this loud minority of people? Well, one, they're loud, so they feel like they're conflating or inflated in terms of their influence. Okay, because they're so loud. They get on Twitter and they get all this bad information, and it's like, well, this is what people want. And this is going to benefit us in the long run, so we might as well take their side. And they're doing material, whether it be ads that ain't got nothing to do with the product, Oreos and shit, for some reason has something to do with social justice. It has nothing to do with it. But why do they take those stances? It's to appease those weirdos. And how does it appease, or why does it appease these weirdos? Well, because this is their approach. You're talking about people who are consumed by this superficial bullshit. A lot of it's superficial, but other times they're just wrong. But that's why they do it. But I will say this, just not even talking about the other stuff. If that is your position, you are a fucking retard. If your position is there can't be a space or a place where folks choose not to talk politics, and it somehow it's a threat to you, you have mental deficiencies and mental illnesses and issues that you need to get resolved. And it's not the job of the streamer often to do that. You just listened to a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake, which is live throughout the week at 12 p.m. Central on youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. Be sure to check out my website, ericdjuly.com, so you can stay up to date with everything it is that I'm doing. You can also become a member and get access to a bunch of cool perks and exclusive content, which includes a social media hub where you can interact with myself and other members. It even has an app that you can get, which is now live in the Google and Apple stores.